So I am out in the park once again, enjoying the morning. Decided to come out here and just start my morning by being outside and connecting with nature. And I found myself actually shedding a tear because of how overwhelmingly grateful that I feel and happy that I feel. And then it reminded me of something. It reminded me of how much a crybaby I am. And I say that with all respect to myself, actually, because growing up, I've always been accused of being a crybaby, and that's not something that I can deny because actually I am very much so a crybaby. I know I'm not the only one out there who cries for absolutely everything, but to those of you out there who are like myself, who cries for everything, and let me reiterate that because I don't just think that we're crybabies. I feel that we're empaths. I feel that we cry for everything because we feel so deeply. And I feel that we feel so deeply because we are connected. And we're connected to everything and everyone. I know for me, if I'm happy, I cry. If I'm sad, I cry. If someone else is happy, I cry. If someone else is sad, I cry. If someone is celebrating an accomplishment, I cry for them because I'm happy for them. If someone is in pain, I cry for them because I feel their pain. And I want to say something to those of you out there who have done this, because I know I have. If you ever find yourself in a position to where you're feeling so emotional because you're allowing yourself to feel, you're allowing yourself to give yourself permission to just feel that complete feeling. And if it's tears, then so be it. But I know some of us sometimes when we cry for things that we know for a fact or we feel that other people around us that's witnessing us have that emotion, we start apologizing because we're crying. We'll cry and say, I'm sorry, and then start wiping away our tears. I would love for you guys to try to do something because this is something that I've been working on. Don't apologize. And I say that with all due respect. Do not apologize for your tears. Do not apologize for feeling. Do not apologize because you're empathic. Do not apologize because you're hypersensitive. I don't feel that that's something that you should be apologetic for. I feel you have the right, and I have the right, and we all have the right to feel how we feel. And maybe some of us are more sensitive than others. Maybe others express different emotions in different ways that maybe we cannot relate to, the same as they cannot fully relate to us crying for, let's say, a commercial with children that are hungry, and we see them on the TV and our heart, it seems like we can feel what they're going through and we shed tears over it. Now maybe the average person, wouldn't do that, but for those of us out here who are hypersensitive and very super emotional, and we connect on a different level when it comes to feelings and emotions, please understand that there's nothing wrong with being overly sensitive. There's nothing wrong with, if you're playing with your pets, or if your pets show you an abundance of love and you look down in their little face and it brings a tear to your eye. I know to the average person that sounds super weird, but again, for some of us out there who are very, very sensitive, please understand you have the right to feel. Never apologize again. Just make a declaration to yourself that you will never again apologize because you're crying. I don't care if you guys are in the middle of celebrating something and you just start crying. You can be at a baby shower and they can do a gender reveal, and at the second that they reveal the gender, even though you may not be the one carrying the child or the parent, but you're in the emotion of, if you see the parents start crying because they're so overwhelmed with joy, you cry along with them. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not something that you should apologize for. I don't care what the reason is that you're crying. I don't care what the emotion is that you're experiencing. Allow yourself to experience those feelings unapologetically. Own the title of being a crybaby. change it from something negative to something that you're proud of. Because being a crybaby just means to me that you give yourself permission to feel. You give yourself permission to completely indulge in the emotions that you're experiencing at the time. And I think we should take pride in that and not let a word like crybaby become an embarrassing label. Let's embrace it, because why not? We can do worse things in the world than cry. So why not embrace it? We're not doing anything wrong, and we have a right. It's our God-given right to feel. It's our God-given right to express ourselves. It's our God-given right to be emotional. So break out the tissue, cry all you want, feel all that you want, and just have a good time doing it. The next time you feel the need and you're about to say, I'm sorry, and start wiping your tears away, let those tears flow. Just swallow those words and let those tears flow, because you deserve it. You owe it to yourself to feel. You deserve it. So let those tears flow and just have a good life, because you're not crazy if you feel things a lot more than others. It's just something that you do. It's a part of who you are. So allow that to happen. Allow things like that to happen. It does not make you crazy. Absolutely not. I know I cry for almost everything. And although I was teased about it growing up, and although I was made to feel like, people would get even annoyed sometimes with the fact that I cry all the time for everything. But now I'm learning to not stop myself from crying, not wipe away my tears, and not apologize. I find myself allowing myself to cry as much as I want, whenever I want, for whatever reasons. Because crying doesn't make me or you crazy, because I'm not crazy. And just because you cry, neither are you.
you.